She trashed me in secret. Until I answered back, Isabella had been pushing me to meet her parents for months. When are you going to meet my family, Marco? Every week it was something new. Her mom wanted to cook for me. Her dad was dying to talk about wine. Her brother wanted to size me up. I finally caved and said yes. What I didn't expect was to walk into a trap wearing my nicest shirt and a polite smile. Isabella always had this air of entitlement, like she was owed admiration just for showing up. What she didn't know was that I wasn't exactly the clueless golden retriever she thought I was. My mother, Francesca, was from Bologna. I grew up speaking Italian. After she died when I was 17, I stopped. It hurt too much. It became my private grief, my locked-away heritage. I never brought it up because Isabella never asked. She took one look at my last name, O'Brien, and assumed I was as Irish-American as they come. The dinner was at her parents' suburban McMansion, the kind with granite countertops and monogrammed towels in the guest bathroom. I brought a bouquet of lilies for her mom, a bottle of Barolo for her dad, tried to be the picture of courtesy. The moment we sat down, Isabella switched to rapid-fire Italian. She turned to me with this sugary smile. We're just catching up. We'll switch back to English in a minute. That minute stretched into 2 hours. 2 long hours of me smiling politely while they spoke in what they thought was a private code. What they didn't know was I understood every single syllable. It started innocently enough. Her job, her day, the salad dressing. Then she began chipping at me, casually and cruelly. Marco's sweet, but he's got no drive, she said, laughing. I basically support us. He's so underpaid, it's embarrassing. She made $45,000 a year pushing overpriced supplements. I make triple that managing tech infrastructure, but I've never been flashy about it. Then came my intellect. No depth, she said. It's like dating a Labrador. Loyal, happy, dumb. Her mother asked about marriage. Isabella grinned and said, I'd say yes tomorrow, but he's terrified of commitment. What she didn't know was there was an $8,000 engagement ring sitting in a safe back home. I'd planned a proposal in Tuscany next month for her birthday. Private vineyard, sunset, the whole thing. She looked me in the eyes as she said all of this, smiling, holding my hand. But to them, I was a charity cake, a placeholder. Her father stared at me like I was a fixer-upper he hadn't approved. He finally asked, are you sure about this one? He seems simple. That's when Isabella patted my hand, locked eyes with me, and said in Italian, don't worry, he's too stupid to understand a word we're saying. Look at him, just sitting there with that dumb smile like a trained seal. Something inside me clicked off. As we were leaving, her father, now smug and condescending, gave me a slow, patronizing pat on the shoulder. It was very nice meeting you, Marco, he said in slow, overly enunciated English like I was a toddler. I smiled. Then I looked him straight in the eye and replied in perfect, unaccented Italian. Il piacere è stato tutto mio, signor Rossi. It was like watching a live-action detonation. Her mom's wine glass slipped and shattered. Her father's jaw literally dropped. Isabella went ghost white, but I wasn't done. Before we leave, I continued in Italian. I'd like to clarify a few misunderstandings from tonight. I pulled out my phone, opened the Tuscany trip confirmation. First-class flights, 4 seasons suite. This was going to be your birthday surprise, Isabella, I said, voice cold. You said I wasn't interested in Italian culture. My mother was from Bologna. She raised me in her language. After she passed, I stopped speaking it because it hurt, not because I was incapable. Her mother looked like she'd been slapped. I turned to her father. I understand now why she thought she could talk like that around me. You clearly raised her to believe appearances matter more than integrity. Then I turned to Isabella. You said I was scared of commitment. Meanwhile, I've been designing your engagement ring for 2 months. Her eyes were panicked now, desperate. I walked to the door, paused, then turned back to her parents. Thank you for dinner. You have a beautiful home. And then I walked out, leaving her behind in the wreckage of her own lies. She refused to leave my apartment for days. I had a friend come stay with me for safety. She escalated, stole my mother's jewelry box, along with $12,000 in belongings. When I pressed charges, she showed up at my gym, at my job. She and her friends started stalking me. I filed for a restraining order and a civil suit. The judge granted both immediately. The real surprise came in court. Her father contacted my lawyer. He was mortified, paid the full settlement out of pocket, and returned my mother's jewelry box himself.